I'm Captain Kristen Elliott from Middleton, Nova Scotia, an aerospace control officer currently posted to 4 Wing Cold Lake.
And I'm Captain Josh Riley from Ottawa, Ontario, an aerospace control officer currently serving at 4 Wing Cold Lake.
Aerospace control officers have 2 primary roles. We work in towers and terminals as air traffic controllers, safely guiding aircraft to and from their destinations using visual and instrument flight rules. I work in a control tower, like you see here in the background. My main responsibility are to provide a safe separation between the aircraft that are arriving and departing from the aerodrome here in the most safe, orderly, and expeditious manner possible.
We are also air weapons controllers, trained to detect threats, make friend or foe decisions in real time, scramble our fighter aircraft, and when necessary, use deadly force against aggressors.
We serve in command centers across North America, in Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. In the air, aboard specially equipped surveillance aircraft known as AWACS. At sea, aboard Canadian Navy destroyers and frigates as maritime fighter controllers. Or in the field, coordinating air support for the Army.
A web of radar tracking stations blankets Canada from coast to coast to coast, all of them feeding into the Canadian air defense sector in North Bay, Ontario. From here, we can get a closer look at any suspicious aircraft and direct the teams who survey, identify, and intercept any intruder.
When one of our aerospace control operators detects an intruder on their radar screen, somebody's got to put their training and their leadership on the line and make the call.
On 4-1 flight, mission ID, type and tail, MCCO.
Whether it's guiding a package of 40 aircraft safely home to an Air Force base in Alberta, or tracking orbital space objects that could impact our communications satellites, aerospace control officers lead teams of operators in dozens of monitoring stations around the globe.
We travel the world to serve with multinational task forces. Wherever we're posted, our mission remains the same: to provide cool, steady leadership to our operators and safeguard the security of our skies. The coolest part of the job is actually getting to do the job and sit in that seat and talk to pilots on the radio and make sure that they leave this base and get back here safely. It's an adrenaline rush and it's a challenge. Soccer 5-1 Flight Cold Lake Tower, both cables are up, winds 160 at 9. You're cleared takeoff, runway 13 left.
Fighter jets, CF-18 for example, have a radar that can see only where they point it. It's almost like looking through a soda straw, rather than what we use is a larger radar with a lot more power and a lot more range, and we get the God's eye view. So we're looking down on the fighters. We can see behind them and in front of them for miles and miles.
As far as the training to become an aerospace control officer goes, once you complete your basic officer training, you'll head to the Canadian Forces School of Aerospace Control Operations in Cornwall, Ontario for a 7-month course. The emphasis is on real-world, real-time scenarios and simulations, air traffic control, aircraft performance and weapon systems, radar and threat alerts.
After Cornwall, you'll begin your training at an aerospace control facility. When you've demonstrated your proficiency and passed an exam on local operating procedures, you'll be licensed to control live aircraft and ready to start your first assignment as an aerospace controller.
As an aerospace control officer, your first posting may be to a military air traffic control center at one of our bases here in Canada. Once you reach your wing, you'll be a trainee in this seat for a period anywhere from 2 to 9 months, and you do the job. You're an air traffic controller, but the entire time you're being monitored. Once you pass this checkout period, then you receive an air traffic control license and you get to sit in the seat and do the job on your own. My first time sitting in the seat as a qualified controller was probably the busiest day that I had ever controlled. And Jocko 1-3 Tower confirmed intentions for I had about 20 aircraft that I was dealing with, but because of the crew that I was working with, we made it through. And it was the most rewarding feeling. I can remember sitting back in my chair, everyone was down safe, and I did it all by myself without getting any advice from my monitor behind me. 1-3 right. You could also be assigned to the Canadian Air Defense Sector in North Bay, Ontario, to a combat operations unit, or to NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado Springs, or with NATO.
A career in the Canadian Forces is extremely unique. It's unlike anything else. You're constantly doing different things. Your job changes on a regular basis each time you get posted, and even within your postings, your job can change. You can be a training officer, you can get involved in logistics and mobility operations. You're never ever doing the same thing. I've seen just about all of North America. I deployed it twice to the Middle East. I think the coolest thing for me was being a part of something bigger, being a part of helping to make the world a better place. But being involved in things that the world knows about controlling and helping to save lives is very special.
I always look forward to coming to work. One, I love my job. I love sitting in that seat and controlling, but two, I love the people that I work with. Every day I come to work, everyone has a smile on their face. We all get along marvelously. It's very, very cool.